What is up, Frag fam? Corbin here again from Northwest Scent. So today we're going to be covering a pretty interesting and I would say useful video, at least in my opinion. This is something that I really wish I would have seen when I first started getting into fragrances, stuff like that. Now this hasn't necessarily been requested, but I've had multiple people comment on videos as well as message me and ask like, hey, how do you afford all these fragrances? In particular, all these niche fragrances, because I think I'm kind of known for being more particular towards niche fragrances rather than designers. But in general, people were just asking me about that. So I thought it would be really good just to kind of cover everything, show you guys my methodology on how I go about in buying my fragrances. So if you guys are interested to hear all about this, please stick around and watch the video. But first, let's roll that intro. Alright guys, welcome back from the intro, and like I said, we're going to be going through my methodology on how I go about in purchasing my fragrances. And as full disclosure, no, I'm not paying full retail for my fragrances. That would be just way too expensive, especially for the volume that I'm usually going through. Of course, I'm selling stuff as well to bring in some income just to replace new fragrances and whatnot, but I'm definitely using discounters to get those discounted prices. And speaking of that, I actually made a Word document right here. Now these are all, I would say for the most part, larger, more talked about fragrance houses. Not every single house is on here, and I'm sure I missed a few that are pretty popular. So if you see your favorite house missing from here, I do apologize, but I'm calling this discounted prices by house. So I have all the houses here, and then in bold is the percentage of the retail price generally. So this is very vague and not like precise. There's definitely outliers, and it's not going to be the case every single time, but for Acqua di Parma, for example, 50% retail, okay? So in general, when you're on a discounter or somewhere like that, you can generally expect to find Acqua di Parmas at about 50% of the full retail price, or half the price, basically. That's how you can look at it. So bond number 9 here in green, 33% of the retail price, which is 1/3 of the retail price. And actually all of the ones here in green are sub 50% generally of the retail price. So these are the ones that get ultra discounted. And you can definitely see a trend here, right? Azzaro, Hugo Boss, John Varvatos right here, what else? Salvatore Ferragamo. Those are all brands that you do see pretty often at rack stores and places like that. However, this isn't just exclusive to designers. There are some niche on here like Parfums de Marly, Mancera and Montal. You know, they're kind of under the same umbrella. That's why I put them together. And then, like I said, bond number 9, extremely discounted relative to the actual full retail price. So if you guys want to screenshot this or whatever, like I said, this isn't super precise, but I would say it's decently accurate, and this is what you should be looking for when you're looking for discounted prices for these houses. And of course, do your own research if you're looking for other houses as well. But these are the ones that I just kind of threw together. So now actually diving into how I go about and buy my stuff, what I do. Let's go over here to Firefox, and we are on Facebook, and as you can see, we are in the fragrance marketplace, okay? So I've said this in videos before, Facebook fragrance groups is probably the best way that you can go about in finding discounted fragrances. Now I know some people are anti, Facebook or whatever. They want to go to the retailer and they want to pay the full retail price so they know what they're getting. And to those people, I'm saying this video is not for you, okay? If you're that paranoid about buying fragrances from discounters or other people, this isn't for you, but this is for the people that are trying to save money. And I will say I've been using the Facebook groups for about 2 years, and I have yet to get a fake, and I've been able to verify all of them, usually either from sampling at a retail store, doing side-by-side tests with verified decants and whatnot. So in my opinion, Facebook is safe, but you have to be smart. You have to do your research and make sure you're dealing with people that are trustworthy. So with all that out of the way, finally, let's actually let's dive in and start looking for stuff. So Fragrance Marketplace is definitely, I would say, the best place if you're trying to buy stuff on Facebook. There's also Fragrance Swap, which I will show you that as well. Fragrance Swap right here. Now this is a private group, and I think you have to be invited to it by other members. I don't think this is one you can search up and join. Anyway, let's go back to the Fragrance Marketplace. In my opinion, Fragrance Marketplace is much better than Fragrance Swap, but I think Fragrance Swap is probably a close second. So anyway, so here we can go to the search function, and usually what I do is if I'm looking for something, I will just search it up right away. So let's look up Ormond Jane. I'm not even looking up a super popular brand, and I sort it by most recent just so I'm looking at posts. I don't want to see something from 2 years ago that I know is already sold. So here we go, 58 minutes ago. We have something from Martin Bick, and he's actually a pretty large seller here on Facebook, very, very trustworthy. and it looks like he is selling a bunch of fragrances from the picture. So yeah, he has this whole lineup right here. So a lot of MFKs, Danger, Roja Dove. Oh, this is actually a waffle. So this is basically like a raffle. They do these on Facebook sometimes, but anyway, that's not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a dedicated sale. Somebody's selling their bottle. So looks like another waffle right here. Actually, here we might have something. Let's see. Okay, so this guy is selling decants, and here Ormond Jane, Montebaco Verano. Okay, but he's sold out. But as you guys can see, people sell decants here on Facebook as well. So if you want to try something, maybe you don't want the full bottle, there's lots of good decanters on here as well, but not really what I'm looking for. So what I would do next, since I can't really find a post that I'm looking for, is I would make a post. And like I said, fragrance swap right here, another awesome group. Basically the same exact thing, it's sales strictly. And then there is some other groups as well. There is Fragrance Limitless right here, which basically a smaller group, about 6,000 people, or 7,000 now, I guess. Same thing though, you guys can buy and sell in here, swap, whatever. I've kind of noticed that in general, in this particular group, prices seem to be a little bit higher. People are trying to just get a little bit more money for their product. Fragrance Marketplace and Fragrance Swap, for the most part, seem to have the most reasonable deals. So the next place I will go if I can't find anything I want on Facebook is actually eBay, believe it or not. And I know a lot of people are scared of eBay for some reason. Guys, you have 100% money back guarantee. The only thing I say is know the fragrance before you buy it on here. So go sample it. Don't blind buy something on here that you've never smelled. But if you have smelled it, or if you have a sample or something, you guys can do a side-by-side comparison. And if it's fake, or if you think it's off or whatever, you can send it back, 100% money back guaranteed. eBay will side with you every single time if you make a claim and say it's a fake. So it's completely safe to buy on here, but again, you have to know what you're looking for and you've actually tried it. So let's do another search for the same fragrance that I was previously looking for, Ormond Jane, or that same brand. And you know what? I'll look for Ormond Man. So I think generally it retails, the large bottle is about $225. Okay, wow, we have one right here. Okay, so $174.95, and it's free shipping. Okay, then of course what you're going to want to do is, even if you do have that money back guarantee thing, you still want to verify the seller, make sure they are a somewhat established and legitimate seller. So you can come down here, Perfume to Go, they're actually really solid. I have bought from them before. 34,000 score basically, and you can see the ratings are really high. So this is definitely a legitimate seller. They wouldn't have that large of a score and that high of a rating if they were selling fakes. So this is probably good to go. $50 savings here. So like I said, you can definitely find stuff on eBay. You can even find better deals than that. I've gotten some crazy good deals of real fragrances here on eBay. Sometimes people just want to make a couple of bucks and they don't really know what they have, so they'll throw it on eBay for super cheap. So eBay is definitely my second go-to. Okay, so let's say that I was on eBay and I couldn't find it, and then like I said, I couldn't find it on the Facebook groups. Then I'm going to be going to the discounters, and one of my favorites is right here. This is Olfactory Factory LLC. So this was actually started by a gray market seller that was previously just operating from Facebook. Now he has a full-on website and actually a pretty large operation. So I see a lot of people questioning this website. It is completely legitimate. I've bought probably 20 bottles from this gentleman, whether it be through Facebook or this website. There are quite an array of brands, and they're all alphabetical here. Okay, so they got some BDK Parfums, they have Amouage. You guys can just scroll through and see everything. Let's actually take a look at the Amouages. So I haven't really looked on here in a while. His Reflection Man for $195, okay? And Jubilation $199. So these are basically about $200. I believe Amouages in the 100 ml size are retail for about $330. So this is a pretty good amount. Like, that's definitely a reasonable price. You definitely can find it more discounted, even through Facebook actually. My bottle of Jubilation 25 I got for $110. So that was an absolute steal. It was completely full. And you know, that, like I'm saying, that's just what you get on Facebook sometimes. But if you cannot find it on Facebook, this is a really good place to go. Really good prices. Let's take a look at another brand, just see what the prices are like right now. Let's see. Okay, so they have a decent amount of inventory right here. Okay, so here's Creed Viking Eau de Parfum for $235. I'm not sure what size that is. 100 ml. Okay, so the 100 ml is $235. With the recent Creed price hikes, I think they're retailing for about $460, somewhere around there right now. So this is basically half of the retail price, which if we go check on this document, about 50% retail. That's generally what you're looking for with creeds. So that definitely matches up. I would say this is a good price and go for it. So this is just like I said, this is a great discounter. Sometimes they're a little bit slow. They are, even though a larger operation now, they still don't have a ton of employees. So sometimes things are a little bit slow, but you're gonna get your real product at a steal. And now another discounter that I recommend is Venba Fragrance. Same story as Olfactory Factory. The owner of this brand was actually a Facebook seller, just used to deal in the gray market on Facebook, and then he created his own website last year, I believe. Now his store admittedly is a little bit smaller. As you guys can see, they don't have quite as many brands, but they do have some. Let's take a look at Roja Parfums actually. So a different brand, really high end. So he has Creation E for $349, I believe, from the Roja Parfums website. It actually says right here, $485 right there. So you get $135 taken off basically. And I think that is for the full presentation, right? Yeah, it's the full pres 50 mil. So that's a pretty solid deal. Although on Facebook, again, you can find better deals. So I'll say this over and over, check Facebook first if you guys can. If you don't have a Facebook account, I guess you can't, but it's really worth it. But again, you have to make sure that you're dealing with the right people. They have Sweetie Aoud on here for $3.99. That one retails for, I wanna say maybe $5.50. So a nice discount. They got some of the Parfum colognes on here. Let's take a look and see what they're going for. I know they're not $9. That's probably a sample, right? Yeah, that's a 2 ml sample. Okay, so the 3.4 ounce is $235. So that's pretty reasonable, I suppose. It retails on the Roja Parfums website for $290. So you get a little bit taken off there. But you guys get the story. Venba is amazing, and they're a smaller operation, and I think you get better customer service because of that. Sometimes dealing with the other discounters, they're dealing with so many people and so many orders that you're not always gonna get a quick response. Okay, so moving along, if you guys can't find stuff on Olfactory Factory, eBay, Venba Fragrance, or the Facebook groups, then I'm gonna be going to the larger discounters, which I think FragranceBuy.ca, which is this one right here that we are looking at. This is probably my favorite large discounter. They are located in Canada. So if you're located outside of Canada, and I don't know about international shipping like over to Europe and stuff like that, as far as North America goes, they ship out every Monday. So if you place an order on a Tuesday, you're gonna have to wait 6 days until they ship out your order possibly. But as far as prices go, they have some amazing prices on here in general between this one, Fragrancenet, and Fragrance X, which I kind of consider the 3 big discounters. This one definitely has the best prices. So let's dive in here and take a look. Let's look up a different brand. Let's do Tom Ford. Now, you do have to pay attention on this website. You'll see the price displayed here in bold. So maybe you think it's available, but then you have to look up here and it actually says sold out. So definitely pay attention and make sure that you know that it's sold out or that it's not. They don't really take down listings on this website that much, which is kind of annoying. But let's take a look. So here we go, ombre leather. In the 50 mil, what about the 100 mil? Okay, well they're sold out. So you can get it for about $113.45. I think retail, it's about $134, $135. So you're getting about a $20 discount, about 80% roughly. So it's not the best discount in the world, but like I said, Tom Fords are pretty hard to find, super discounted. There's something else on here, like a really good steal. Okay, well let's take a look at this one. So they have Tom Ford for men, which by the way, this has been discontinued. Oops, I don't know what that was. I didn't even notice that window. Okay, so what are the, okay, they don't even have the 100 mil, but the 50 mil, they got it for $73.98, and that's Canadian, by the way. So make sure that if you're in the US, you're converting that to US dollar, which this will come out to probably about $60 US. So here we got a discontinued fragrance from Tom Ford that would retail for probably over $100, and you're getting it here for a pretty good price. So this is, like I'm saying, these are the kind of finds you can get on FragranceBuy.ca sometimes. Pretty solid deal in my opinion, especially considering that it's discounted and you really can't find it anywhere else at this point. So that's why I like Fragrance Buy. Definitely search through their inventory. They have a ton of houses and lots to choose from. You can spend a while on here, but sometimes you can find some really good gems. Okay, so we're moving along, and the next discounter that I would generally go to is Fragrancenet, which is the one that most of you guys probably are aware of and that you know about. I think lots of YouTubers talk about this place, and for good reason. They do have really solid fragrances. They are super established, as you can see. They've been around for 24 years at this point, since 1997. Now, like I said, this place, in my opinion, probably has some of the worst prices as far as a discounter, but they are a discounter, so you still do get much better prices than retail. What I can say about Fragrancenet is sometimes they have insane deals. Point being, let's go take a look at some Rajas. So last week I was on here and they had some pretty hard to find Rajas. I don't know if they're still on here or not. Okay, Reckless Pour Homme. Okay, so let's take a look. It is sold out. I actually have a bottle of this from Fragrancenet on the way, so hint, hint, that'll be in my weekly fragrance haul, hopefully coming soon. But this thing retails, I think from the Roja Parfums website, it's like $480. They had it discounted with the 30% off coupon for $250. Like, absolute steal. That is a better price than you will find anywhere else, and they do these randomly. The other Rajas they have here, let's see if they have, yeah, so here's Sweetie Aoud. It says it's on sale. Let's see, yeah, $540. So that is a ridiculous price. That is basically what you're paying from the Roja Parfums website. But they do actually have Sweetie Aoud discounted sometimes insanely too. My bottle of Sweetie Aoud I did get here on Fragrancenet. They had one of those just like flash sales where they super discount it, and it was like $340, which is basically the cheapest I've ever seen it, regardless of where I was looking. So definitely pay attention to Fragrancenet. I don't think it's just specific to Roja Parfums. I think in general sometimes they do these flash sales that you have to pay attention to. And just remember, the coupon you need is RENG7. And I think that gets you about 35% off at this point. So Fragrancenet is good for sometimes, but you don't necessarily always find the best deals on here. I will say, let's take a look at some Versace's maybe. I find with cheapy brands, or like the cheaper designer brands, that you generally do get better prices on Fragrancenet. Usually for the niche brands and stuff like that, you're not gonna get as much of a discounted price. So here we go, Versace Eros, $57.19. I think that size would probably retail for about $95. And let's compare this to, or 45% of retail, excuse me. So that's probably pretty close, maybe a little bit higher, but a decent price. And of course they do have testers, and this is again the nice thing with Fragrancenet is I've noticed they do kind of generally get a wide array of fragrance sizes as well as testers. So you can get basically any bottle size you're looking for, and they offer testers a lot of the time too, if you don't really mind the cap and the box and, you know, the fancy presentation. So again, that's Fragrancenet. It's a solid discounter. They do have some really good like flash sales sometimes, but in general it's not my favorite. Okay, so we're on to the last, I would say, major discounter that I use. This one, again, it's kind of the same story as Fragrancenet. Sometimes you do get some really good deals, but in general I'm finding better deals elsewhere. But sometimes they have fragrances that you can't find elsewhere, and that's why you have to use this website or any other website. You have to look through all these different places to find what you're looking for. Let's check out some Parfums de Marly. It's a niche brand we haven't looked up yet for this video. So I'm seeing prices here, and you don't really know what size they're referring to, right? This one says 212, this one says basically 160, and you're like, well, why is there such a discrepancy? This one might be the larger bottle size, and this one might be the smaller bottle size. So I can't really speak to that. Let's just click on Sedley. So it's a newer release. So they have the 4.2 ounce for $212. That's an okay price, I suppose. Not super competitive. I've seen them go for like 150, 160 on Facebook. So definitely not the best price, but if you can't find it again, like anywhere else, this is the go-to. I actually got my Lipizan on here. Let's take a look. So this is where I bought Lipizan. Yeah, as you guys can see, $152 for the 4.2 ounce size. You're not gonna find it basically cheaper anywhere else. I looked around and this was the best deal. So again, this is kind of the same story as Fragrancenet. You're gonna have to look through, and once you know what you're after, check all these different places, and one of them might just have an insanely good price for no apparent reason, and then you go with that option. Okay, so we're on the last discounter we're gonna look at for the day, but there are some other websites I'm gonna show you guys with some tips on how you can save money on some really high-end niche brands as well. So this is called Aura Fragrance, and their website does look kind of tacky, and honestly, it even scared me the first time that I actually was on it. Doesn't necessarily look very legitimate, but this is a real website, and they actually have insanely good prices on here. Unfortunately, they don't really have the best search function. More or less, you kind of just have to scroll through and see what you're looking for. But like I said, you can find really good deals on here. Actually, they have Mancera Red Tobacco. So this retails, if I'm not mistaken, for $180, $190 somewhere. Let's see what their price is. So they have a 4 ounce for $64.98. Okay, that is cheaper than I really see it going anywhere else. Granted, it is a tester box, but you do get a cap with your testers still. So it's basically just missing the cardboard box if you care about that. But for the price, this is absolutely insane. I don't even know why they're saying $120. I'm pretty sure it retails for like $180. So this is an amazing saving, basically the best price I've ever seen for this particular fragrance. Let's keep looking and see what else they have, if there's anything that stands out. They are really good at actually getting discontinued fragrances. So as you can see, Mercedes-Benz Club Black for men. I bought my bottle from them, and you know, they did have a really solid price. I think it was maybe $30 that I picked it up for. And now it looks like they're out of stock, but maybe they'll get more in, who knows. But if you're looking for discontinued fragrances on the designer side, definitely check out this place. Sometimes they get them. Let's keep looking and see what else they have. Is there like a tab to next page? Okay, it's right here. I don't know why all that blank space was there. That was kind of funky. Let's keep going. Nishane. Oh man, they're sold out. I wonder if we can view the price at least, see what it was going for. Okay, so they had a, wow. They had a 1.7 ounce for $89.98, and that must have been a tester. There's no way that was a full presentation. So this is what I mean, guys. Really solid prices here on this website. The only reason this isn't one of my go-tos like first is because they don't carry a ton of the higher end brands. Like I said, they do have some Nishanes and Montals, but you're not going to find any Rojas on here. You're not really going to find Creeds for the most part, maybe Creed Aventus. You're not really going to find Parfums de Marly. So, but if you're on the designer side and you're looking for something at a really good price, you can definitely check this place out. Let's see what this costs. Intense Cafe, 15. Oh, it's just a 15 mil. So a little tiny, basically a travel spray, I guess. But I mean, that's still a great price. You know, that's basically $1 per mil. So that's honestly pretty solid. And let's just take a look at one more fragrance. So they have the new Le Male Les Parfums. And I don't think you can really find this super discounted currently. Yeah, it doesn't seem super cheap, but that's also the 6.8 ounce. I think this would be close to the retail price, or probably even less than the retail price for the 4.2 ounce. So that's probably a pretty solid deal. Again, it is a newish release, so you're not gonna find newer fragrances getting discounted right away. So, you know, like I said, take a look through here. This is a really good website, especially if you're after designer fragrances or certain niche fragrances. But again, if you're after higher end niche fragrances, this definitely is not the place to go. All right, guys, so like I said, we are past the discounters at this point, and we're moving on to a couple of retailers, but don't run away yet. I have some tips for you guys, and there's a reason we're gonna be talking about certain retailers. So starting us off, we are here at Nose Paris. Now this is a Paris-based retail store, so just like Neiman Marcus or any place like that, they're gonna be selling fragrances, and in this case, mostly niche fragrances or high-end designer fragrances at a retail price, but the prices overseas are a lot different than here in North America. So definitely stay tuned and take a look. The one thing I will say is when you first get on the website, you're gonna have to switch the language over from French to English if you're an English speaker, and I think they do have maybe German and some other languages that you can navigate the website with as well. I'm doing English, of course. Now let's take a look at brands. And like I said, this place, they focus on mostly niche fragrances, but you can find some designers as well. Like here we got Comme des Garçons, we got Costume National. So those are technically designers, but they do put out very high quality fragrances that I really do consider niche quality. Now, as you can see, they don't have every single brand on here. They are missing, I don't think they carry, yeah, they don't have Roja Parfums, and they don't have Xerjoff, so they don't have every single popular niche brand, but they definitely have a decent variety. Let's take a look at Creed. Now, Creed Viking Cologne just got released, right? So if you're gonna be buying at retail, you're gonna be paying well over $400, probably closer to 500 at this point. Now on here, everything is in euros. Now let's take a look. This is Creed Viking Cologne. And if you go, let's say you want the 100 mil, okay? So it's 100, okay, 187.50. That's in euros. If you convert that over to the dollars, that's about $225. So that is an absolute steal. And again, this is retail. That's just because in Europe, the prices are a lot better. Now, you might be thinking, okay, the shipping is gonna be like $50 or $60. Well, they actually do ship completely free of charge, I think, if you spend over a certain threshold, and I don't know exactly what that threshold is. I wanna say it's right around $200 US. So you kind of have to toy around with that a little bit, but I actually did order my bottle of Creed Viking Cologne from here, and I did get this discounted price. Now you may see this call out right here, Nose cannot sell and ship the Creed products in the US. Canada, blah, 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 unless they're an existing customer. Well, that's really not technically true. I don't know why that's in there, but I did know people that ordered through this website and they got their products sent to them and they were first-time customers. You get insanely good prices here, $225. Let's add it to the cart. Now, let's go to the cart. I'm not gonna buy this again, of course, but I'm just trying to test something out here. So now here we go. Congratulations. You basically get to choose from 6 samples, okay? So not only are you getting the product that you're ordering, but they actually do let you choose from all the brands they offer, and you can get a sample of your choice from each brand. So it's a really awesome way not only to get a fragrance at a good price, but you get to try 6 other fragrances as well. So definitely worth it. They do offer, like, you know, gift wrapping, although that's extra. And like I said, you know, why is there 2 in the basket? I don't know why that happened. Update shopping cart. Let's see what happens. It should be free shipping. I'm pretty sure this meets the free shipping threshold. So yeah, here's the total. They're not even charging me for shipping. So better price than you can even find it here in the US, regardless of discounters. The discounters that I've seen it pop up at, or people that are even reselling it on Facebook, they're asking $250, $260. Here you're paying $225 straight from a retailer, and you get samples along with it. And not only that, usually their shipping is expedited. I think I got my bottle within 5 days. So definitely an awesome website. Let's go take a look at some other brands and see what the prices look like. I'm just gonna look through here really quick, see if anything catches my eye. Yeah, Kilian, let's take a look at some Kilians, okay. Now, I know Kilian is pretty hard to find discounted for the most part. 133 euros, that's kind of the going price here. Is that for a full bottle or is that a refill? Because they do offer those refills as well. Box set, oh, okay. Okay, so this is the full, oh, is that with the coffret? Okay. Okay, so this is without the coffret. Okay, so 166 euros. I think that comes out to about $200 US, which retail here in the US, Kilian fragrances generally go for $240. So you're already saving $40 here. And if we take a look, because like I said, I kind of did a little bit of extra research when I threw this together. Kilians generally are about 80% off retail. So that basically falls right in with the retail price. And again, this is from a legitimate retailer. So definitely check this place out. So I'm telling you guys though, definitely use Nose Paris regardless of if you're here in the US. Like I said, if you meet that price threshold, which I think is around $200, you guys should be able to get free shipping and you get those free samples thrown in as well. So I think it's a pretty solid deal overall. Okay, so the last 2 things we're gonna be talking about is 2 houses specifically and their websites. So as you guys can see, we are here on Maison Francis Kurkdjian's website. Let's go take a look at the perfumes. I guess we'll just do the unisex fragrances. So I know Baccarat Rouge is very, very popular. They did actually recently have a price increase here in this house. The 70 ml is about 215 euros now, which I think that's probably about $240 US. Now, you might be thinking, okay, why are we taking a look at these retail prices? Well, if you go look up the retail price for MFK fragrances at any of the large department stores, you're gonna find Baccarat Rouge 540 right here for probably $300 or more. So a lot of people don't realize that you can find generally the best price for the MFK fragrances from the website directly, and you get free shipping just like with Nose Paris. And additionally, I think if you buy a full bottle, they throw in like a 7.5 mil or like a 10 mil travel atomizer. So it's like an actual like high-end travel atomizer with label and everything on it. It comes like wrapped, and that's basically a second fragrance because you can use that quite a bit. And of course, if you don't want it, you can just sell it, get some money back, and then you got this for even cheaper. So definitely use the MFK website and at least check it if you're after any of the MFK fragrances, because you can actually find them for pretty solid prices here. Okay, so we're on the last website, and as you can see, this is Roja Parfums. Now let's go take a look at what I put down for their discounted prices. So usually about 75% of retail, but those are the cheaper fragrances. So what I mean by that is you're not gonna find like Diaghilev or Great Britain 75% off of retail. Basically, you have to pony up the full amount, or maybe just like $100 off or something for those, but you're not gonna find it super discounted. The Parfum colognes you can find discounted at discounters for about 75% of the retail price. So that's what I mean by the cheaper fragrances. But let's say you don't want a Parfum cologne necessarily. Maybe you wanna get something a little bit more high end. So let's go take a look on here. We're gonna look at actually one of my favorite fragrances from the house, which is Oligarch. So where are you? I I think this is alphabetical. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so Oligarch. If you come down here, it's 245 euros. Now we're gonna, or pounds, excuse me, but we're gonna wanna switch this over to dollars. So $315 here in the US. Now, if I add it to the bag, let's go to the basket and see what it has to say. Okay, free discovery atomizer. With a purchase of $245 or more, you will be entitled to select a complimentary 7.5 ml discovery atomizer. So this is the key right here. You get up to, I think it's $105 value of a discovery atomizer. So let's go take a look and see if they have any worth that much. Keep scrolling, you can see they basically have every fragrance to choose from. Okay, so right here, Parfum de la Nuit 3, $105. That is the exact max amount that we can do. So if we go to the basket, as you can see, I'm charged nothing for this. $315, you're getting your bottle you want and the discovery atomizer. And what I would do is, if you don't want the discovery atomizer, this is kind of it's just a weird way to go about it, but once you get your order, you could totally resell this, make 80, 90, even $100 back, whatever, and then you got your Oligarch for about $200, or you know, whatever, the low 200s. Now you're not gonna find Oligarch ever that discounted. I know that for a fact. Generally, if you see it pop up, it's basically the full retail price. So a lot of people don't know that if you just buy from Roja, you get this travel atomizer, you can keep it and then you have a second fragrance, or you can resell it and then you saved about $100 on your order. So like I said, that is kind of a longer, more drawn out method because you do have to sell something, but if you're really after it and you're trying to save money, this is definitely a good route to go. Well, there you guys go. That's my methodology on shopping for fragrances, both on the niche and the designer side. I hope you guys really found this video helpful or useful, and if you did, I would really appreciate dropping a like just to show your support, and then that way more people can see my videos on YouTube. Additionally, if you want to write a comment, maybe just let me know your thoughts, as well as some new video ideas or topics, that would be great too. And since you're down there doing all that stuff, if you've not already, if you could hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification, that would be amazing. That way you stay up to date on new videos whenever they get released going forward. But with all that out of the way, that's all I really have for you guys today. So I hope you have a good one. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and smell great.